Hey, peace. What's happening, everyone? On our deal with.
Ooh, yeah. Nah, nah, nah.
Suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind. Come and fill our hearts again, like the rushing of a mighty wind.
Yeah, blessings. Once again, you know the routine, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. All of that helps. So you don't know. Without any further ado, let's get started. Let me ask you, because you suggested earlier that the slaves had it better than the Europeans who came.
The poor, not the bourgeois, and there's a small middle class, but most of the white people here were just brought here to die. So yeah,
absolutely, you felt like the slaves here had it worse, and you also seem to be suggesting. You said the white folks, the white poor people had it worse.
Oh, okay.
Is what Docs was saying. They had it worse than the slaves. And you also seem to just suggest that you said that a slave in Jamaica, the life expectancy of a slave in Jamaica was like 7 years.
Yeah,
or something
47
like
years.
Are you also suggesting that slaves in Jamaica had it worse than slaves in America, given that the American slaves, their life expectancy?
I've always said that.
All of that
Jamaicans, not just Jamaican, Haitian slavery was the same way. Cuban slavery was the same way because it was sugarcane. So slaves in Cuba were living 4 to 7 years, Jamaica 47 years, Haiti 4 to 7 years. So parts of Brazil 4 to 7 years. So from that respect, hell yeah, you guys had it worse. Slavery is awful.
So how is American slavery? Because if you speak to most Black Americans, they'll tell you American slavery is the worst atrocity in human history. So if all these other slaves were treated worse than y'all, if it was worse to be a slave everywhere else, it was even worse to be a poor white person in America. Why and how is Black American slavery the worst thing ever in history?
Well, you have to look at it this way. When it comes to brutality, being brutalized, I tell people no. I tell anybody, and I hear my own people, we have the worst slavery known to mankind. Like, no, that's bullshit. And we're talking about just unabated brutality. No, Jamaicans got us, Haitians got us, the Cubanos got us, the Brazilians got us. They were unaliving slaves within 4 to 7 years. But when it comes to selling your mama, your daughter, your father, your son, ours is by far the worst in mankind. So you have to differentiate. Like, what, when you say the worst, what do you mean? Just being brutalized, or seeing your mama sold, your sister sold, you sold over and over? They would sell slaves 5 different times.
No,
so that is the worst. When you're talking about being sold on an auction block again and again, the emotional pain, so that part of slavery is the worst. So we do have the worst slavery known to mankind in that.
If the question if a question is given to me of where would you prefer to have, like, what's the worst slavery? Where would you prefer to go during the time of slavery? Jamaica, Haiti?
Anybody's going to choose America. They're all going to. American dream. Hang on. If you said, and I think that's pretty funny what you just said. If you asked anybody, hey, you guys are all going to be enslaved, but you can choose the destiny: Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, Brazil, or America. All of them would choose America.
Right. So, but
that's a funny question, but that's a true one.
So if that is true, how is American slavery the worst?
I just told you. I told you.
How is it the worst when y'all were treated the best?
Well, all slavery is bad, but when it comes to being sold, on the auction block, and your daughter sold, mother sold.
Jamaicans were sold on auction.
No, not like us, because those
They
in
were
Jamaica.
sold on auction
No,
blocks
no,
in Jamaica, bro. Or
they
sold
were
on
not.
auction blocks
No,
and
listen,
sent to Jamaica.
listen. American Dream. Listen, they were not able to reproduce like we were, right? You understand that. They were unaliving slaves in 4 to 7 years. We were having kids and families on the plantations, and a slave master
Y'all
was
had it
breeding
good,
up.
bro.
So no, but hang on. Not don't be funny. We're not going to downplay slavery, but that was the brutal part. Selling 600 slaves at one time. Come on, that's unheard of. That
If
never
anyone
happened.
was going to downplay slavery, they would be talking about the American experience of slavery. Y'all had it good, bro.
Okay.
This dude is, I tell you what, I tell you,
Now
man.
you're being funny. You know, like, no, all slavery was bad. Because you said that, well, slavery was, I guess, good here. No, all slavery is evil. But when it comes to brutality, being brutalized, yeah,
You're
Jamaican
struggling
slavery
with
was
that
worse.
word brutality, aren't
Yeah,
you?
say it again.
Brutality.
There we go, brutality. There we go, brutality. Thank you, brother. See, I'll
Yes, sir,
get
you're
help.
welcome.
Brutality. Yeah, the brutality of Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, Brazil, it was another level. I told you the only place you can come close to that would be the sugar plantations here in America.
Yeah,
I mean, not the sugar, but the sugar and the rice. But outside of that, yeah, I forgot not just the rice, but the sugar, Pinky and Vendetta. I forgot about the sugar plantation. So the sugar plantations and the rice plantations, you would live average of 4 to 7 years due to diseases and things like that. So I forgot about that, Pinky. So Pinky, it was the sugar plantations and the rice plantations that slaves in America would live 4 to 7 years. Outside of that, slaves would live on an average of 35 years. And so check this out. They would threaten the slaves with that. They would tell the slaves, if you don't shape up, I'm going to sell you to one of the two, or actually one or three. I'm going to sell you to the sugar plantations where you're going to die in 4 to 7 years, or I'm going to sell you to the rice plantations where you are going to die in 4 to 7 years. In extreme cases, they would say, I'm going to sell you to the Caribbean where you're not going to last longer than a year. So yeah. So it was 2 places in America that you would die within 4 to 7 years. The sugar plantations and the rice plantations. So it's not just the rice plantations, but the sugar plantations.
So it sounds like
that was a threat. That was a threat. Yeah, that was a threat. Slave masters would use. Go ahead.
It sounds like the same way people from the Caribbean are killing themselves to come to America today because America is so much more of a better life. It's the same way if we were to go back to slavery days, slaves would have preferred to come to America to be a slave, to be even a slave, because slavery in America was not as brutal.
American Dream, hang on. American Dream, I'm going to make your point. I just made your point that the slave masters would use the Caribbean as a threat. Like, I'll sell you to the Caribbean, and that was enough to keep most slaves in line. Like, oh hell no! So I just gave you a point. Like, yeah,
so
slave masters use Caribbean.
Would you chalk that up as one of the other things that Caribbean people are jealous of? The easy slavery that y'all had?
Well, I don't know about that, bro.
They don't even know about that.
I've never heard of that shit before.
We are jealous and envious.
I never heard of that shit before.
Y'all had that easy slavery. It may not explain. Listen, it may not explain, right? It may not explain.
American Dream, hang on, American Dream. American Dream, hang on. No, hang on, American.
Don't let me get this.
No, American Dream, hang on.
Let me get this.
No, I'm not. You're gonna get it out. But American Dream, you are funny. You said you could Jamaican slaves. That's funny, American Dream. I gotta give you that's funny. You said
what I say again?
You said a Jamaican.
That was funny?
You said Jamaican slaves were jealous of our American slaves.
Yeah. I mean, you're the one that's saying we're jealous and envious.
They got better
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is.
I can imagine a Jamaican slave. Let me be a slave in America.
Here's what I want to say. But here's really what I want to say.
All right, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I may have been joking when I said what I said about Jamaicans being jealous of your easy slavery.
I thought you was real, man.
It may not. That's why I'm using the word may.
I thought it was funny.
I choose my words carefully. that may not, I may have been joking with that, but I think what's even less of a joke and what's more true is that your easier slavery, the fact that you guys had an easier go at it and an easier experience of slavery may explain why Jamaicans and other Caribbeans, when they come here, they kind of downplay or aren't as open to your calls of reparations, because, you know what I mean, when they're like, what are y'all complaining about? You know what I'm saying? That it may explain your view of Caribbean people when they come here and they say, what are y'all complaining about? That's probably where that's coming from, is the fact that, because even the slaves would come here and say to y'all, to your American slaves, what are y'all complaining about? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have it good. So
I don't understand.
Y'all may, you know, maybe it's because of the fact that y'all are elite whites, why y'all had such a good slavery. Maybe that's why. But count your blessings.
Hang on.
It's good to be white.
No, Vendetta, hang on. Hey, American Dream. I'm gonna make your point, American Dream. I'm gonna make another point. See, I'm helping you out in this conversation. Everybody, it's a paragraph, so give me 30 seconds to read it, okay? But American Dream follow, because I'm making American Dream's point, right? Somebody's got a point.
You're saying I'm right. So you're saying I'm right.
Yeah, well, as far as the slavery, yeah. Listen, I'm making your point. Let me just land. In the southern United States, Irish workers were often used instead of black slaves for dangerous jobs. See, I told you. Then I say slaves in many instances had a better life than the poor. Irish workers were often used instead of black slaves for dangerous jobs, as the slaves were a purchased asset, as Vendetta said, while the Irish worker's life was considered dispensable, worthless. See, the Irish life was considered worthless, dispensable, without any incurred cost. This division of labor was witnessed by Frederick Law Olmsted as he watched workers load cotton bales into a ship during his visit to the South in 1855. He observed black slaves recklessly tossing bales from the top of the chute down towards the Irish workers who were at the bottom of the boat, right? And then he asked when he asked about this arrangement, he was told that the ends with the ERs are worth too much. The slaves are worth too much to be rich here. If the patties are knocked overboard or get their backs broken, nobody loses a dime. So yeah, I made your point. I told you. The slaves are worth too much. Yes.
I made my point, and you just reiterated it.
I want you to listen very, very carefully.
Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Brought us from the motherland in bondage and chains. Bury our culture and change our names. They claim we're free, yet we are in pain. As long as there's life, there's a lot to gain. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. When God spoke his words, they said he was deranged. Marley sung his songs, they said the same. Malcolm X and Martin Luther fought relentlessly so we could be better. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Just because we're black, they say we are slaves. Speak of righteousness, they say we are praise. Brought us from the bondage and chains. Bury our culture and change our names. They claim we're free, yet we are in pain. As long as there's life, there's a lot to gain. Just because we're black, they say